We got one person who can tell us. This was a prompt. You guys all should be able to do this. This is a freshman there. Yeah, we've got to plug 9 in for the x and show that it's going to be equal to 0. So I go over here, let's write out p of 9. And it's going to be, now this is another part where it's awkward. Show me the replacement in, which means show me parentheses 9 cubed minus 8 times 9 squared minus 29 times 9. And then our last one is what, plus 180. Now I'm going to show you, by the way, how to evaluate this out in the calculator. If you're trying to evaluate out a function, when you're doing this, stop doing this in the calculator. We always screw it up. We always get the thing where you're going, wait, the negative is squared, so you put, remember, did they tell you that where you like, you put parentheses around sometimes, and then you don't. If it's negative, you put parentheses around. If you don't, you can type it in as a 9 straight up. It's a little bit irritating and not helpful because it's very situational. Go into your calculators, and everybody right now, make sure you're at your home screen. Get a new calculator doc. So everyone should be at 1-1. Go up to New Document. Don't save what's there. Go to Add Calculator. Now, type in what the p of x is. You defined it as something, right, in the beginning, whatever that was. So put it in without the p of x part, but whatever it equals. Was it x cubed? And then some more stuff. Type that in, and then that gets input. The next thing that you would go through and do, after the expression is there, you're going to put a bar after it. Did we show you this trick yesterday when we tested values? Now you can use it to do an evaluation. There's my expression. Stop. X equals what value? And what did we say? Was we plugging in a negative or a positive 9? So plug in a positive 9. Now press enter. What do you get when you plug in a 9? 0. Now I'm actually going to be able to reach a couple conclusions here. This is going above what the question wants. We just showed that p of 9 is equal to 0. This actually lets you make 2 conclusions. There's 2 things you should know, technically 3. If you know p of 9 equals 0, what's one thing that we know that if I plug in a 9, I get out a 0? What's one other conclusion about the graph? I guess a statement you could make. So I'd list out x minus 9 is a factor of p of x. There's actually one, maybe 2 other conclusions that are sort of linked together. What else do we know besides that x minus 9 would be a factor? Now, there's 2 things that we can get from that. You can either say, actually, so you're telling me 9 is your x-intercept, right? What would it be as an ordered pair? What would the coordinate be? You're right that it crosses the x-axis at 9. So what would that be as an x comma y? So list this piece out. 9, 0 is on p of x, and it just so happens since it's 9, 0, this is also your x-intercept value. So those are the 2 things. It gives you an input, output, or x, y that are on your graph. And do we have any questions about what we just showed here? All right. Next one up, you've got to find the 2 remaining factors of it. We'll start off right out the original. You've got x cubed minus 8x squared minus 29x, and then plus 180. What is one factor of p of x? You've already stated it wants the remaining 2. How about we start off with just one? So you know x minus 9 times something is going to give us the p of x. How do you figure out what you multiply x minus 9 by to get back out the p of x? So what's the synthetic division going to look like? What's going on the outside? 9, what are your numbers going to be going across? So now we're going to do some hard math. We're going to drop down the 1. You've got 1 times 9, that's a 9. This would give me a 1. Over here you've got it's a 9. Again, which means I've got negative 20 now, negative 180, and 0. So what can I fill in inside those parentheses now? What do I have to multiply the x minus 9 by in order to get out the original p of x? We've got 2 people. Now, it should be obvious that you still have not that you have not satisfied this question, because it says, what are the other 2 factors? You probably would be disgusted if one of your group members right now left that answer. I know you probably would. Maybe we'll put it this way. I think no one even here would be. But the kids at Thomas would stop here. Why would you look down condescendingly on those kids over at Thomas who would stop now? What would you tell them? Why are they wrong? You've got one person. Take a look up there. Look at what the question's asking you to do. We've got 4, 5, 6 of them. 7.
You have to factor the first x minus 20 is
Would you be friends with someone if they stopped factoring that last line? You would? He's a nice guy. Everybody in the other classes said, no way. They said they wouldn't even let him sit with them at lunch. That's pretty severe. Now, we've got all this done. What do we know about our graph now? So go through, isn't there a spot on there to graph it out? How about you throw 3 of the zeros on there? You've got this listed out as p of x, so show me the zeros. We'd say x minus 9, plus 5, and minus 4. You have to show them set equal to 0, so you've got these little mini equations to write out. So go through, sketch on your graph. You've got intercepts at 9. Where's 9? 4 and 1, 2, 3, 5. Now, you've got enough there to make a graph, but we don't know which way the ends are going to go. You need one more point on the graph in order to figure that out. You got all your intercepts. How can I get one additional point on our graph? Look back at the equation. We've gone over it in this unit, and you could always have typed this in the calculator to find out more points. But how could you get another point without going to the calculator? How would you find your y-intercept? Yes, that's kind of gimmicky though. Just make sure you plug in x equals 0, because sometimes if it's not in standard form, you can have a number at the end that maybe needs to be combined with another like term. But since this is in standard form, and all like terms are together, what would our y-intercept be if I'm remembering it right? Is it like 100 and something? 180? Now, I don't want to ruin it. Is our drawing now going to be to scale? It's going to be a little bit hard for us to plot the point. 0, 180, because, you know, we're going up by ones. So maybe I'll put this magic point somewhere up here. So I'm just giving out a terrible and inaccurate sketch. Now, you've actually got enough to figure out which way the ends go. Keep in mind your graph has to go through all 4 of those points. Who can tell me which direction the ends are going when I go to negative infinity or I extend out to the left? In order to go through these points, what is our graph going to have to do when I go over to the left side? Who can tell us? We got 1, 2, 3 of them. 4. It's going to have to go down over here. And keep in mind, again, it's got to go through all of them. So you know the graph will sort of have to go down that way. We also know it's going to have to sort of snake and go like that as well. Does that graph satisfy those 4 points? Yes or no? Yeah. Now, I'm trying to think. I think we did enough for you. I'll try to send this one out to you. Your work tonight, your homework is going to be, and I'll send it out. I want to say it's 8-7 on page 115. Can you look on page 115, please, and make sure, is that correct? Okay, so go to page 115. Your homework is going to be 8-7. I'm going to send that answer key out to you. Make sure we're able to go through and do those questions out. By the way, on your quiz today, I'll get them graded, hopefully even by the end of the day. There really was only one question I thought was the tough. Which one do you think was the most complicated? Which one? Yeah, I think that last one was honestly the tough. The other ones had some concepts in them. You know what? You know what you screwed up? I think I just graded yours if you want to see it. Have a great day, guys. Straighten up your desks before you go.